We're going to start off with this conversation about this program. As many of you know, we are excited to be involved in our community here at Branch Life Church. We believe we're better together. We're working with other organizations, other churches, the school district, and other nonprofits to just make Pottstown a better place, and we believe we can do that better together. And so we're excited to be a small part of this initiative that's happening in the Pottstown Middle School. God is just opening doors, and the middle school has invited the community to come in and to help mentor kids that would be in need of mentoring. And so Dave and Laura have been at the tip of the spear of this effort over the last couple of years, and this year the program has really hit the ground running. So I'm excited to introduce to you guys what's happening in this program. After the service is over, Dave and Laura will be sticking around. They'll be right in the back part of the room over there, and they would love to meet and talk to any of you who are at all interested in learning more about how you can become a part of this wonderful and awesome and amazing opportunity. We'd love to have you guys investigate more, so they'll answer any questions and have a little Q&A time immediately following this service. So, Dave and Laura, why don't you introduce yourselves to us and introduce to us Created for Greatness and tell us where it came from and what it does.
Okay, I'm Dave.
Yes,
No,
that's Dave.
no, I'm Laura. So I'm a parent in Pottstown. I'm a volunteer. I've been involved in the district increasingly over the last number of years. And I am part of Created for Greatness, which was started by the real Dave.
Yes. So Created for Greatness was started 2 years ago. I seen some things online, Facebook, about some trouble that was going on in the middle school, kids walking home, just vandalizing a little and doing some different things, just needing some help. So I reached out to the superintendent and I said, I have a story. I would love to come in, connect with the students, but I want to do this, but I said I want to bring the church in to do it. I thought that was important, and I am a believer of the Lord, and I believe that's the way we should be doing things in our community. So that's how it started. I said I wanted to bring the church in with me and us together to connect with young students, and he said that is an answered prayer. So here we are.
So tell us what happened over the summer, what the school asked you guys to do, how the program got formed, and where it's at now.
Well, so when it first started, I started off with an assembly. I did an assembly first for the students, talking to them about their interest, things of just connecting with them about my life, where I came from. Then we actually connected with the community, brought in about 3 or 4 mentors in the beginning. In the first year, we connected with the students during lunchtime, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade lunches for 30 minutes. So once a week, I brought in different mentors to connect with students, going from table to table, hanging out, just getting to know the students. Today, we are at about 30 mentors now coming into the school, but we also changed some of the mentoring and the connecting. Now we are matching community positive adults with students to connect for one time for 30 minutes once a week. And that's what we're doing currently right now.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about what the needs are in the middle school in Pottstown and how this particular program can help meet some of those needs.
Okay, so in Pottstown Middle School, you have almost 1,000 students. Many of these students come from a variety of backgrounds, but a lot of the students have what we would call ACEs, or trauma, adverse childhood experiences, which can be anything from poverty to previous abuse to growing up in a home with mental illness. There's just a lot of extra trouble. And every school will have some of this. In Pottstown, there's a lot of trauma. And so one of the things we know that really helps when people have trauma, especially if you're a child who has had trauma, something that will help you build resilience is having a positive adult in your life who is a consistent source of just relationship, a consistent source of wisdom, and just somebody you know who is there for you and cares about you. And these students have teachers. They have lots of people who are there trying to help them. But one of the things that one-on-one mentoring does is it matches a student with a specific adult whose job isn't to discipline the whole class or make sure the whole class learns or anything. It's just a very specific relationship that helps that student have some consistency and somebody they know is just there for them. And so the need there is huge. Right now we have, about 30 students matched with 30 mentors. We also have mentors who go in at lunchtimes and go in the classroom and everything. But the thing that we think is the most important is that relationship, that connection that will last at least for the year, if not longer, that a student knows somebody is there for them. And so what we do is create that connection.
Now, middle school students are some of the coolest people in the world. And I don't know if you know that. I mean, you might be terrified of dealing with middle school students, or you may love them. I hope that tonight you love them, because they're some of the funnest people to be around. These students at the Pottstown Middle School need adults who can come in and show them positive examples and positive love. And they are ready and willing to accept that love as it comes to them. So there are young men and young adults in the middle school years who are ready for a mentor, and maybe God would have you meet that need. So you heard Dave talk about part of the reason behind this program is bringing the church to the Pottstown Middle School or to the schools in this program. And that is something that is our heartbeat at Branch Life Church. One of our values is we believe we are better together. And then we have the greatest commandment, right? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. We take that seriously, right? Let's love our neighbors. Here are some middle school neighbors who need the love of God that we can give. So tell us a little bit about what you kind of envision, or how the church can be a part of this and be on the front lines of this.
So what we would ask you to do is to think about and pray about whether you can commit basically it will end up being an hour. It's not an hour, full hour with the student, but if you're thinking about your total time out of your day, to have lunch with a student once a week at a specific time, or to come in the morning and meet with a student. To do that, you need to go through training and application process and all of that. We don't just, throw everybody in like just cold. Like you're going to want to know some things. But we ask that you just think about, can you commit to that? And we ask for a year commitment, because what we don't want is somebody showing up, getting paired with a student, and then after a couple months just ghosting them. Like that can't happen. So it's a limited commitment, but it's also a sustained commitment, if that makes sense.
So with the church, I look at this as it's faith in action. It's faith in action. And we had a meeting, at a Netzer meeting, and Carrie Brooks from Connection Church, we were all there, and we were all praying, and she said the Lord had spoke, and she saw a headline, and it said, Pottstown Middle School saves Pottstown. And that resonated with me, because this call is about the body focused on the need and loving the students, the staff, connecting with parents. And when you look up, if the body takes this serious, the headlines will say the church reacted. And that's what matters. And we've had some meetings. We had some connecting meetings with different churches, different community members. We had a meeting in October, and it was just a meeting with mentors, and we looked up, and there was 20 different churches represented in that meeting, and we were focused on loving students, and it was beautiful. And it's still the call, faith in action.
So what's the need, guys? How many mentors do you need? What can we do? How can we help?
We need 1,000 students matched with 1,000 adults. That is the goal. Some people say, be realistic. I'm being realistic. That's the need. That will change the generation. When we love on these students with the love of God, the program is created for greatness and nothing can change it. And we're created for greatness through Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And when we know that, and when that love is transformed to a young student, just purely loving them and just being with them, faith in action.
Hey, I'm praying that Branch Life can be a big part of this, and that God can allow us to be some of those people that go to the front lines, that walk through this open door and put our faith into action to show the love of Jesus to those in need in our community, specifically in our Pottstown Middle School. So will you allow us to be a part of that by standing together so we can pray over Created for Greatness and pray that God would do some great work through all of this? Let's pray together.